Hi there. Now, devotion today. I want to take you to Romans chapter 12. Just for a meditation, I'm going to deal with verse 12. Romans 12:12. Paul is dealing with three important things. How we face it in our Christian life is very important. Let me read it for you. Romans 12:12. It says, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer." These are the three things that we need to concentrate today for our meditation. How is your hope? Do you realize that we have great hope in the Lord? Because Bible talks about great hope that we have. Hope of eternal life, hope of seeing Christ face to face, hope of salvation that we receive from Christ, hope of new heaven and new earth, hope of life with the Lord forever. All these great hopes that we wait for it. How do you wait for it is very important. While you wait for your hope to be accomplished, you cannot be sad. Paul says, when you think about this great hope that God has given you, then you have to be joyful about it. So, day after day, when you think about the great hope that God has given us, we have to be joyful about it. Be joyful. Being joyful is an emotion that we have control over. You can be joyful. And if you allow the Spirit of God, that joy will be amazing. Because Bible says our strength is in being joyful in spirit. Because the joy of the Lord is our strength. So facing hope that God has promised with a joyful heart helps you. Number two, how do you face affliction? When it comes to affliction, it may be because of your sickness, it may be because of your financial trouble, it may be family problems, it may be anything that you suffer because you are a Christian. And Bible says when the affliction comes in our way, Christians are not immune to it. We have to face the affliction. But how do you face the affliction is very important. Paul says his advice is patient in affliction. Be patient. Don't get too agitated with everything that is going on in our life. Don't worry about such things also, because Jesus said by worrying we cannot do anything. And so, being worried in our day to day life about our affliction is not going to help. So, how to face your affliction? You know you are afflicted in some way. How do you face it? Paul says, be patient in your affliction because all this affliction is temporary. They are not permanent. There is only one that is permanent, that is God. He is eternal, and we trust in Him. And so, when you face affliction, be joyful, be happy, and be patient. Bible says, be joyful in hope and be patient in affliction. How do you do with your prayer life? Prayer life is also very essential for a Christian. You can pray, but it has to be faithful. You cannot use prayer as a spare tire that whenever you need something, you ask God, and then whenever things go smooth, you don't think about praying. But that is not the way it's supposed to be. How your prayer life should be is advised by Paul. He's saying you have to be faithful in prayer day after day. Have certain time in spending in the presence of the Lord, in praying not only for your need, but for the needs of others around you. There are so many things that happen in this world, and it hurts so many people, and you can spend time in prayer. Faithful prayer. Life is so important as a Christian. Prayerlessness is like a person without a backbone. Prayerlessness is weakness. So you have to use that life of prayer faithfully. So be faithful in your prayer life. So these are the three important things that we have to consider. As Paul says in verse 12, be joyful in hope, be patient in affliction, be faithful in prayer, because we are on the winning team. We cannot be sad and murmuring and complaining, because that is not going to help. It is not going to strengthen you. So be joyful, be patient, and be faithful to God. God bless you today.